Hi everyone. Here we present Aurras. Aurras is a middleware that acts as an event processor low-code workflow orchestration platform. Aurras is being pitched as a next-generation system for enabling decentralized push notifications. There are 4 components in Aurras. 1. Event sources. 2. Event manager. 3. Workflow Composer. 4. Web API Gateway and Backend Services. Features of Aurras. It is a low-code workflow platform, resource events, and agent model. It has dual-layer hybrid storage. That is a blockchain and distributed hash table. It uses noise protocol, new hybrid open consensus. These were some features of Aurras. Now coming to the next part, project architecture. Aurras currently listen to the substrate-based chain only. Aurras substrate event feed will be listened to the substrate chain and feed the events. Further, particular substrate event is linked with a trigger, which further linked to an action on OpenWhisk. OpenWhisk is an open source, distributed serverless platform. It has event-driven architecture. The trigger will fire itself when a particular event comes from the substrate-based chain. Now coming to the low-level design. In here, the main input for the system is the YAML config file, which consists of tasks that refer to the actions and their properties, and the flow that gives the flow of the task, and the workflow. This config YAML is converted to a WASM binary with the help of Composer. After this, we will deploy this workflow into the OpenWhisk. And for that, we need to convert this workflow into OpenWhisk executable. Now we can see a substrate-based blockchain linked with an event feed that will listen to the events from the chain. After that, an event comes to the event manager. It registers event feed and will create a Kafka topic. And if the Kafka topic is linked with any particular trigger, then that trigger would be fired and particular action will be executed. Now coming to workflow. It consists of a Rust library to compose multiple actions, deployment, configuration generator, OpenWhisk deployment tool. For creating a workflow, the only input we have is to give the YAML file. Components of workflow are 1. OpenWhisk macro, 2. Polkadot macro, 3. Workflow macro, 4. Workflow API, 5. Composer, OpenWhisk macro. This OpenWhisk macro is a Rust derived macro which implements the necessary methods to interact with the OpenWhisk to invoke actions in OpenWhisk. Polkadot macro. This is also derived macro for workflow Aurras. It implements functionalities for interaction between the substrate-based chain and the workflow. Workflow macro. This is also a derived macro for workflow. Aurras, it implements necessary methods for a workflow like add node, get task, etc. Workflow API. It's an API for an OpenWhisk that helps to deploy actions, triggers, and rules, and also helps in deleting actions. Composer. The Composer will take the config YAML file and generate the workflow WASM. In depth to the Composer, it will generate the Rust code with the help of Tacklebox and build the WASM. This is the end of this video. In next video, we will show working example of Aurras workflow. Thank you.